Kansei is recommended for individuals 13 and up. For depictions of crime scenes and blood, viewer discretion is advised. Hey guys, RavenSylphe, and welcome back to another episode of Kansei. Excuse me. Yeah, I finished those Doritos and I'm wanting more. God, I'm hungry. Ugh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I shouldn't be hungry. Anyways, we were just in the kitchen. So let's go in here and let's talk to Mei Li. Oh, guess not. Never mind. Bye-bye. I guess we'll go in here then and talk to her. I don't have any questions.
Sure thing.
Bye. I don't think I have any reason to go back in the basement, so let's go back out here. Let's talk to her, I guess. Did you learn anything else when you were talking with Liam?
Well, he did mention that his uncle likes to drink.
That's not exactly news. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows that.
It sure makes poisoning him easy though, huh?
So you and the others are criminals, huh?
I see Miko has been talking to you.
Leimi is the one who told me.
Well, I won't deny that we've done things on both sides of the law. But we're not just a bunch of criminals, okay? I have my reasons.
I've explored as much of the house as I can. Well, I haven't gotten a good look at the security room. Kevin's always in there, and I don't want to be poking around while he's watching.
Good point. I wonder if there's a way to get him out of the room for a while.
Even if we could, the door would lock behind him. There's no way to open it without him. The only way to get in is to reset the power and override the system. I can't override the security system without a code. Aki's eyelids suddenly light up.
So what you're saying is, it is possible to enter without him.
No.
He just said that we could get it if we had a code.
We don't. I don't think Sophie's just going to tell us hers.
I'm pretty sure she already did.
What do you need?
Naoki appears beside me. He looks a little out of breath as if he ran here as quickly as he could. Wait, did you just call him here?
Yeah.
Aki stares at me as it should be obvious. I'm sorry. I've only been around you people for about a day now. So it's still a little new to me.
It's better than sending a text, although the range isn't that great.
She laughs.
First things first.
She turns to Naoki and places her palms together as if she's in prayer.
I need a little favor, brother dearest.
He frowns.
Every time you say that, we do something illegal.
Well, it's for a good cause.
You always say that, too.
He's so cute when he's angry.
I suppose I do.
She smiles widely, showing off her teeth in a cheesy grin.
But you'll help, right?
He sighs.
What do you want?
When you guys first opened Mr. Otten's office, you saw Sophia's security code, right?
Naoki looks around apprehensively. Seems he already knows where this conversation is going.
Well, we're just going to try a little experiment and see if it works on other doors. Like the one on the security room.
She folds her arms across her chest and draws her back up. She paces between Naoki and I in a general, like a general giving orders.
I'll distract Kevin while Con turns the power off. Kevin will no doubt head to the basement to fix the problem. Once the power's back on, Naoki will use Sophia's code to get the two of you access to the security room. I'll stall Kevin long enough for you two to get a quick look. See what you can get and get out of there. Got it?
Naoki sighs. He looks resigned.
Got it.
Aw. Yeah, I got it. I try not to sound too resentful. It's not an entirely terrible plan, but I don't like having Aki boss me around.
Good, then wait for my signal.
Aki strides down the hallway and knocks on the door to the security room. After a few moments, Kevin opens it and lets her inside.
Alright, Con, you're up.
As soon as Aki starts speaking, I turn and walk down the hallway with the long, quick strides. I hurry past the rows of doors and I quickly make my way down to the basement. Once I arrive at the basement, I flip all the switches off, the room plunges into darkness.
Good job, now get out, and quick!
I race up the stairs and duck into the bathroom. Outside, I can hear muffled voices. Aki is talking to Kevin about something as she follows him down to the basement. After a few seconds, the lights flicker back on. At the same time, I hear the basement door slam shut.
Alright guys, get going!
I don't have to shout. I crack the door to the bathroom open slowly. In the hallway, Naoki is already busy punching in a string of numbers into a security pad. His fingers race over the buttons, tapping each one in an even rhythm. The box beeps softly and the door opens. The two of us leap through it and begin our search through the meager contents of the security room. This house, lots of trees, main entrance, bunch of lines of code. I can't understand any of it. Bunch of computer files are probably important. The kitchen, not much going on there. Downstairs hallway. The basement. Kevin might be back any minute. Main staircase, not much going on. I think this is upstairs hallway. It's the basement. I get the feeling I'm the only person who's been there in a while. That's the living room. Mr. Otten's collection of expensive things that break easily. The luxurious looking bedroom, I'm a bit envious. All I get is a couch in Aki's apartment. Someone's bedroom, I think, looks nice and large. I kneel beside the computer to inspect it. It looks like it was custom built, but there's nothing suspicious about it. As I stand, I notice a yellow bit of cardboard sandwiched between the computer and the glass desk. What's this? I pull it out gently. It's a folder stuffed with papers. They look
Con,
so
now
promising.
we're out of time.
Ah! You freaking... I roll the papers quickly and stuff them under my shirt. Naoki and I make a mad dash for the door. We burst in the hallway, shut the door quickly behind us, make an attempt a casual walk back into the lobby. The casual walk turns into more of a pitiful swagger, but thankfully there's no one in the lobby to see us. After a few minutes, Aki rejoins us.
So, find anything?
I show her and Naoki the papers that I discovered.
These numbers are pretty recent. I see a lot of references to other companies, but I'm not sure what they mean.
Likewise. Aki and Naoki both furrow their brows in concentration as they examine the papers. Despite their wildly different personalities, they still reflect on each other's actions. Finally, Aki sighs and hands the papers back to me.
I've got nothing.
I take the pages back from her and roll them up again. Maybe someone else can tell me what they mean. I don't have any more to say right now.
That's cool. We'll talk later.
Well, let's go up here and talk with the detective. Hey, dude. It turns out that Mr. Otten was going to cut Liam from his will.
Well then, that's an interesting turn of events. Do you know why?
One too many run-ins with the law, it seems. The big one, apparently, was him getting involved in dogfighting. Detective Gursky grimaces.
That would do it. Am I to assume that Mr. Otten never actually got around to making this all-important change in his will?
Yeah, Sophie said that the lawyer was going to come by next week.
Great.
A lot of people are mad at Mr. Otten because of his research. Detective Gursky rolls his eyes.
Don't I know it. There have been multiple public demonstrations concerning Otten Engineering's work.
Do you think it might have something to do with his death?
It's possible, but it's hardly likely. I don't see how any one of his demonstrators could have gotten in here to kill Mr. Otten.
So it was most likely, Liam.
An attempt on his life by one of them is more likely to take the form of a gunman or a bomb.
Never
Try
mind.
not to get into too much trouble.
I'll try my best! Now what do we do? Let's look at our notes. He's scared to see me, but he wasn't surprised. Does he know? Kevin heard Mr. Ottman say that he buried his past. Pretty much everyone knows that Mr. Ottman drinks too much. Mr. Ottman has used a lot of underhanded tactics to advance his company. In Chinese mythology, the tiger and dragon are rivals who represent physical versus mental, body versus mind. Liam Ottman was participating in dogfighting. Mr. Ottman didn't pay Kevin or Sophia to work for him. Kevin's family's in debt, but Mr. Ottman is keeping the creditors away. Sophia's husband is ill, and Ottman in engineering can save his life. Mr. Ottman was trying to grow organs from tissue. Mr. Ottman threatened to cut Liam from his will. Well, I'm thinking it was Liam most likely, but I don't know what we're gonna do here. Oh!
Hey, con guy, right?
Liam approaches me as soon as I enter the hallway. Speak of the devil. Huh? Yeah, what's up? He runs his fingers through his hair and yawns.
Just wondering if you were on good terms with that police dude.
I wouldn't really say that I am.
Huh. Well, that sucks.
He shoves his hands into his pockets.
I told him I wanted to go, and he was all like, I can't leave because Uncle is something or other.
Dead, you mean? Liam stares at me, so I've just placed an octopus on top of my head.
What are you talking about?
Mr. Ottman is dead. He just died. Did Aki even tell him any of this when she was speaking with him? Liam's eyes dilate as he processes my statement.
Wait, so that means...
His eyes lit up, a self-satisfied smirk spreads across his face.
Well, there's irony for you.
Yeah, irony. What's so ironic about
Oh,
it?
come on. What isn't ironic about it? The man makes artificial hearts for a living, but his own ticker fails on him?
I pursed my lips in an attempt to keep my voice calm. You don't seem that cut up about it.
Why should I be? He was due for it soon enough with the way he was drinking. A heart attack, right?
Don't like him. Don't like him at all. It looks more like he was murdered. No, it looks more like he was murdered. Again, Liam takes a few seconds to process my statement. When it finally registers, his face twists into an expression of fear.
Murdered?
Liam begins pacing back and forth, muttering to himself under his breath as he does.
Definitely no. She said I had more time. Why?
He finally turns back to me and grabs my shoulders.
Are you sure it was murder?
Well, we won't be able to say for sure until the autopsy, but yeah, pretty sure.
No. This is not good. Not good.
He glances back and forth as if he's expecting to see something leap out of the shadows and take him.
I need to think.
He dashes off down the hallway. Liam, wait! I take off after him and arrive at the main entrance just in time to see him race up the stairs. I follow him up the steps, but he's already disappeared by the time I get there. Ugh. Never mind.
All right then.
Okay. I wonder if we can get her to tell us what Liam's feeling right now. Nope. I guess not. Anything's changed in the bathroom. There's towels. Technically, am I supposed to put the towel after that? Okay, guess not. Let's go back out. Actually, let's go see what Kevin's up to. Hey, bud. That's all for now.
Come by if you want.
Ow, that was loud. Oh, okay. Let's go talk back with Sophie. I found these papers lying around. They're about some other companies, I think. What are they exactly?
Those are some of his ledgers from one of his smaller companies.
I didn't know he owned other companies.
Well, he's bought most of them up under various names or through organizations that he heads.
Meaning
that his ownership of these companies is not readily evident.
So he owns them in secret?
Yes.
Why?
Many of these companies are financial institutions. His ownership of them could be seen as a conflict of interest with his business decisions at Otten Engineering.
Did anyone buy some cognac for Mr. Otten recently?
That's an odd question. Is there any reason you want to know?
We think it might be related to the murder.
Are you sure?
Surprise registers on Sophia's face for a brief moment.
You don't think his cognac was poisoned, do you?
What? Well, it certainly looks that way. The symptoms are all consistent. The pale skin, the sweating.
If he were poisoned, what kind of poison are we talking about?
What do you mean? Sophia paces back and forth on the floor. speaking rapidly under her
Why
breath.
didn't I remember until now?
She berates herself. Sophia spins around to face me again.
This poison we're talking about, is it a sort of clear, oily liquid?
Sophia, do you know what it is? She hurries to the cupboard and pulls out a white linen napkin.
I just hope it's still here.
She pulls out a plastic bin from under the sink. The recycling logo is painted on the side. The napkin wrapped around her hand. She picks carefully through the pile of bottles and cans until she finds what she's looking
Here.
for. She holds up a simple plastic water bottle. It's empty save for the few drops of water sloshing around the bottom. What is
I
it?
found this in the incinerator yesterday. We burn our garbage daily. I pulled it out because it belongs in the recycling. When I picked it up, I got some of the contents on my hands. It's not water. The texture is more like oil.
What makes you think it's poison?
Because I felt ill all yesterday after I touched it. The same exact symptoms you spoke of. What if it's the poison? What if the killer tried to throw it away?
But it's just a water bottle you happen to find. You may have been sick from some other reason.
No one in this house puts recycling in the incinerator. Mr. Otten has very strict rules, and we've always followed them. This is the only time I've ever seen something out of place. Please, just look at it.
I take the wrap bottle from her, being careful not to touch the plastic. It's innocent enough, but if she's right, then there's only one person who could have poisoned Mr. Otten. Let's take this to Detective Gursky. Sophia nods in agreement. The two of us hurry down the hall and into the main lobby, where we find Detective Gursky and Aki talking with one another.
Whoa, you two look like you're in a hurry.
Yeah, I think we have our key piece of evidence. I hold up the bottle for Detective Gursky and Aki to see.
And what is it?
It's the poison. Or what's left of it, at least.
It'll be easier if I just explain to you who did it.
Fair enough. So who did it?
I was saying it before that it was Liam, but with the way he reacted, I don't think it was him. I don't think it was Sophia. Marisa, maybe, but at the same time... I don't know. Kevin was very, very angry. And I don't think Mr. Otten killed himself. Kevin was very angry. Let's say, for the first time in the game. Actually, the second time, sorry. It was Kevin.
The IT guy?
But how did he do it?
He poisoned Mr. Otten's cognac, most likely. He wanted it to look like someone from the outside poisoned it before it even arrived at the house. So he picked something that Mr. Otten would lock up in his office.
How did he get into the office? I thought no one was allowed in.
That may be true for Sophia and Liam, but Kevin controls all the security in the house. I bet he has a master code that can open any door.
Is that true?
Yes, he's never used the master code, but it does exist.
So he had means and opportunity. What about a motive?
He did it for revenge.
Revenge? For what?
I held up the papers I found in the security room. Destroying his family business, of course. We, found this in the security room. I hand the papers to Detective Gursky, and he rifles through them, scanning each page briefly with his eyes.
What am I looking at?
Proof of ownership. Mr. Otten owned quite a few loan agencies under assumed names. He gave out student loans to families like Kevin's, then changed the interest rate without warning, putting them in more debt than they could handle. The debt that he supposedly rescued Kevin's family from was one that he created himself.
So Kevin would bear a grudge against Mr. Otten for cheating his family and using him.
That's a good enough motive for me. And he's the only person with the means to do it.
Sophia found this in the incinerator. We think he carried the poison in this bottle, that he tried to destroy the evidence.
Meaning that we'll probably find his fingerprints all over it.
A frantic beeping noise interrupts our discussion.
What is that?
The house is coming out of lockdown. Kevin must be unlocking all the doors.
I groan. Of course! He can see us! I'm holding a stupid murder weapon in my hand! He probably knows we've got him figured out!
Kevin isn't going to leave through the front. We'd never let him past us. Sophia, what other exits are there?
There's an emergency door in the museum.
Detective Gursky and Aki exchange horrified glances.
Is there any way to lock all the doors again?
There's a panic box upstairs that...
Don't explain it, just go!
Sophia turns and dashes up the stairs while the rest of us race towards the museum. Detective Gursky grabs the handle of the door and pulls, but the lock by the door beeps. That was loud! He pounds on it with his fist.
Kevin, we know you're in there!
No response.
Kevin!
Aki glances at Naoki and nods. He nods in return before punching a string of numbers into the box beside the door. The box rewards us with a friendly beep and a click. Detective Gursky kicks the door open and we rush in.
Don't move!
God, you're loud! Kevin stands across the room from us, one hand firmly on Lee May's shoulder, and the other holding a knife to her throat. You
Kevin, it's okay.
Detective Gursky holds out his hands for Kevin to see.
Just going to talk.
What if I don't want to talk?
Kevin shakes his head vehemently.
I'm not stupid.
No, you're very intelligent. You should know that Sophia's locking the doors and there's nowhere to go. So why don't you just put that knife down and let us talk?
Kevin's gaze darts back and forth between us and the
You're
exit.
lying.
Aki steps forward slowly, hands held in the
Kevin,
air.
please. Just let her go.
Kevin's expression softens for a brief moment, but he doesn't release Lee
You
May.
think I'm gonna give up my only bargaining chip?
He presses the tip of the knife to Lee May's neck. A small bead of blood appears where the knife has punctured her skin. You shithead! It runs down the side of her neck slowly, leaving a single crimson trail on her pale skin. Lee May's shoulders shudder, and her eyes grow dull. Whoa! Whoa! In a single, fluid motion, she snatches the knife from Kevin's hand and spins around, pushing him to the ground. Without hesitation, she raises the knife above her head and sinks the blade into his back. Kevin stares at Lee May with muted disbelief. His entire body begins to shake and he collapses to the ground. Blood pours from his cut, seeping into his clothes and creeping across the floor. I find myself unable to do anything. My body is frozen in shock. The world around me is fuzzy, distant. I see Detective Gursky kneeling beside Kevin. He's shouting something at Naoki, and I can't understand what he's saying. Aki rushes forward and wraps her arms around Lee May. This is the first time I've seen Aki look so frightened. Lee May stares at Kevin's motionless body as if she's never seen him before. The knife in her hand slips from her fingers and falls to the floor with a dull clatter. This can't be happening. There's no way this is happening. I can hear my own heart pounding against my ribcage as blood rushes through my head. The world is starting to grow even fuzzier. I feel ill. I clutch my stomach and stumble a few paces back. Kevin is dying, and my Kansei is soaking up every moment of it. I struggle to remain standing, but it's useless. As I fall forward, the world around me turns black. Produced by SakeVisual. Oh, that was the end of it. Yay! Not the best ending, though. I went and looked up some information on this one because I guess there are multiple endings for these games. There's like this, I think this one has like 3 different endings. There's like a general ending. I think this one is the find the true killer end or something like that. And then there's the true end, and I have to go back and complete the general end before we can get the true end. I might go look up more on that and see what I need to do, and then I'll pop in and do the true end so you guys can see that. But yeah, I think we'll end this episode here. It's a few minutes early, but oh well. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!